telling my homeboy, we was driving down Asher Avenue, and it's a predominantly black club strip, right?
Right.
And we, as I'm saying, driving down through there. And we had just left a bar, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I was explaining to him how, you know, I will go, but I prefer not to. Because my lifestyle and the way in which I live is multicultural. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, always has been. Right on.
Always has been. That's the only way I see it. I don't look at people in color. I look at people how you treat me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's all about character, not color. I'm with you, dog. You know that.
You know, but several black people have hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Several. There's some white people who hurt my feelings also, though. You know what I'm saying?
Well, hey, just like Trump, people, when he said, look at my African American out there. That's my African American. Dude, you know how racist a statement that was? If they'd have said that, if anybody other than Trump would have said that, or if they'd have said that 10 years ago, look, that's my African American, it'd have been game over right then. Your campaign would have been over right then. You know what I mean?
Right.
And this dude gets away with it. You know what I'm saying? But him messing with this Mexican judge, him turning on the press has finished him off. And what people don't realize is, look, I'm looking at the numbers. He right now, his campaign is $43 million in debt. And you know who they're $43 million in debt to? The Trump organization. Because the Trump organization let his campaign borrow $43 million, $45 million. So he's going to take all these people, these dummies' donations, and put them right back in his pocket. So he's going to make money on this deal. Even if he loses the presidency, he's still going to make a buck.
No, be Lord, no. He's going to have the Mexicans pay for it.
Hey, you know, that's what's hilarious, that people actually believe he's going to build a wall.
Yeah, man, they're going to foot the bill for his campaign.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
They're going to foot the bill for his campaign, build the wall, and then pay for the wall. They're going to do all three, Gino. Like they...
Donald Trump, hey, man, he's got it all planned out, man.
Right, he's going to make America great again, Gino. You didn't know? Nobody told you? That's all he knows. He don't know how he's going to do it, but he's got a good brain. He knows big words. He's going to hire the right people, and he's going to make America great again. That's all he's got.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this, and I will give Donald Trump this, and I give, just like I give Donald Trump, I give Rosie Stewart the same thing. She created jobs. She creates jobs.
Right.
And for those who don't know who Rosie Stewart is, if you've ever been in Florida City and eaten in the Blue Flame Cafe,
best burger in town.
Hey man, she's been there. Hey, she started her business in the 40s.
Right.
As a black woman.
Right.
Incredible feat. Very incredible feet.
Incredible ain't the word.
And it's still running to this day.
Hey, we shot, you know, I picked out most of the locations for our movie. And, you know, we shot the Blue Flame. You know,
you're right.
We shot the Blue Flame. And I told him we had to because it's an institution for a city. And I made sure the crew from L.A. ate the Blue Flame burger. And I made sure they ate at Williams Family Restaurant. And they loved them both. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Hey, man.
Well, we went to school with her grandson, though, Vince. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you, if you ain't been to the Blue Flame and you're white, don't be scared because I've been down there 100 times and they've never had a problem. And never had a problem.
You're right, though. But you're not white, though.
Well, that's right. I'm Bill Clinton white.
And talk a little whitish. That's about all.
That's me. Well, like I told you, I'm your brother with a bad case of vitiligo. You know what I mean? I'm like Michael Jackson, but 10 times worse.
Yes. But yeah, man, Donald Trump, he has created jobs. I give him that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I appreciate that. But that's about it. That's about where it stands. You understand what I'm saying? That's it, B-Lord.
Right.
I have nothing else for him.
Right. And people, it goes to show you how the Republican tactic of repeating the line up becomes the truth. Donald Trump has made a career out of it. All his businesses, 90% of them have been total failures.
I'm going to tell you though, I'm going to tell you also what it has shown me. And, you know, I'm going to tell you, I'm a self-proclaimed, street intellectual, historian,
philosopher,
a political scientist.
Right.
And what I've come to see from this election here, man, is that there's a lot of people that's upset. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And they're upset for a reason.
Right.
What I feel is if what we as Americans should do is to try to at least come together and at least let's put everything out in the open. Because some of these issues that I feel is that the opposition has, they're not really speaking to the people or to the masses, but people to where it really actually matters to. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, you know what they call that? There's this documentary you got to watch called Boogeyman. It's about this dude named Lee Atwater, and he invented all these dirty political tricks for George Bush's and all these Republicans back in the 80s, and they still use this playbook. And what you're talking about is actually a term for it. It's called a wedge issue. It's an issue that ain't got shit to do with nothing, but it fires up the Republican evangelical base. Perfect example, this transgender bathroom deal. People are a bit out of shape about who pisses in what bathroom. And guess what? Dudes dressed up as women have been pissing in women's bathroom for the past 50 years. Nobody says nothing. You know what I mean? One state passed a law about it, and now they're scared every kid that goes to the bathroom is going to get molested. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even though there's never been one documented case of a transgendered person molesting any kid. You know what I mean? You better be more worried about a Catholic priest than some transgender dude or Bruce Jenner or Caitlyn Jenner trying to molest your daughter. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, I'm going to tell you something, man. And this is just how I personally feel. And I'm only speaking for myself.
Right.
Bad Boys Bottom, Gino B.
Right.
B. Bastard. Poetic Dofi.
Right.
You know, if you have male parts, I just believe you should go to the male bathroom. If you have female parts, you know, you should just go to the female bathroom.
Right.
I think people complicate. They can make this thing get more complicated than what it is.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? But
see, here's my hang up on that. I can get with that argument to a point, though. The point is, if a dude wearing a dress as it goes up in a bathroom full of dudes and pulls his dress up the urinal, starts pissing, he's probably going to get his ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? And that's just being real about it.
We are evolving as a society.
Yeah. It's still Arkansas.
You know, I'm your hood environmentalist also, man. And I would like to think that as a society, we are evolving. Transgender, lesbians, gays,
right?
Flaming, whatever, however you want to describe.
Yeah, pangender. I can't even keep up with all the terminology.
That population of our society, man, it's changing, man. Dude, people are more worried about really and truly about progress.
Right.
About being, you know what I'm saying? About being economic stable. You know what I'm saying? About at least being able to buy a home.
Right.
I'm that dude. I don't care if we go buy a home and live in it and thrive in it.
Right.
Build in it.
But guess what, Gino?
Communities and societies.
Well,
donate that. I have no problem with that.
Right. But guess what, though? In the South, we're doing just the opposite. We're regressing. We're going back 50 years. We're passing these backward laws to stop minorities from voting, these voter ID laws. We're passing these anti-abortion laws that are making it hard, almost impossible for a woman to get a legal abortion. And don't get me wrong, I'm not pro-abortion, but I'm pro-choice. I believe you should do what you want with your body. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that's what we're having.
Tell me what to do with my body.
Right.
If I want to be fat and stodgy and lazy,
right.
Well, I'm just
as long as you
lazy person.
Right. As long as you don't hurt nobody else, you should be able to do what you want with your body. As long as you're not harming nobody else. That's what American freedom's all about. But see, in the South, it's going backwards. You know what I mean? We're talking about building walls. They're making it almost impossible for black people and poor people to vote in Alabama. Look here, Alabama, to register to vote, you gotta register to DMV, Gino. They shut down 40 of the 49 DMVs, and guess where all 40 were? In heavily black parts of the state. So now to get a driver's license or an ID so you can vote, even though you never needed one before, most of these black and poor people going to have to drive 2 or 3 hours to get an ID or a driver's license so they can vote. And guess what? A lot of them, because they're impoverished, don't have a car to drive 2 hours. So that's how they cut into votes. That's what people don't realize. That's what these voter ID laws are all about. Voter fraud is almost non-existent. It's all about stopping people from voting Democrat. Go ahead.
I got to say this. I got to say this, D-Lord.
What's that?
I got to say this.
Say it.
Let's go and get this out the way here, man.
All right.
The age group of African American males from 18 to 25, they're not going to vote.
Right, no, they're not.
It's almost damn near impossible to get them to go vote.
And 2/3 of them are felons who can't vote. Or 1 out of 3, right?
You do have some who is it that feel as if they cannot vote because of
institutionalized racism,
or they've got felonies. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'll tell you, I'm telling you, man. When I was in college in Atlanta, Georgia, man, Clark Atlanta University.
He's a graduate, people.
I worked on a get out to vote programs.
I bet that was impossible.
And help people get registered to vote. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
My dad in Forest City, Arkansas, St. Francis County, to this day still does that. In St. Francis County. But do you know how hard it is to get it's hard to get the total African American group. And I'm talking about in big numbers. You understand?
Right, the entire group.
I know 40% or 60%.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about some high 80s.
Right.
Low 90s. You know what I'm saying?
Only black people that vote consistently is old black women.
Older black women, older men that go vote.
Right.
Black men that go vote. Your upper class African Americans feel as if it's important.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the age group, even the ones who grew up in good households,
right,
18 to 25, and
it's heartbreaking.
It's the exact opposite.
Right, it's heartbreaking.
It's voting droves. And I'm going to tell you something. Lord, I'm going to tell you something. And it comes from the perspective, they look at it, it's the way in which the young black men, they feel as if it's not important.
Right.
They feel as if, I'm telling you, man, I go out and I talk to young black men here in Little Rock, Arkansas, all the time, man. I speak all the time about voting. We talk about vote when we do talk about vote. I ask someone who you voting for. So I would say,
they don't know. Obama running.
I kind of like Bernie, but I'm surprised that they even
know who Bernie is.
Even know who Bernie is. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
I'm probably gonna vote for Hillary. You know what I'm saying? I get that a lot. The females, the younger females, I hear a lot. They give me a good feedback, but it's the interest in the importance factor. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. I wonder what the disconnect is. What's the disconnect, Gino? Is it because they don't think they're going to live long enough, or they don't think that society cares about them enough to vote?
It has nothing to do with it. What it has more to do with is this. I'm a kid that's 18, 19 years old, and life right now is real good, and I just ain't really thought about no damn vote.
Right. They don't think it affects them.
It's almost as simple as that, and I hate to say it. But
Damn.
it's true. Man, even if you paid the motherfuckers, even if you paid them, Byron Lord,
right,
they would not show up.
That's sad because
it's not important.
Because look at the young white youth. They're coming out in droves to Bernie Sanders. There's more white young kids voting this election than has ever voted ever in history. And I don't understand why Bernie Sanders has had such a Well, I understand why he's had such a disconnect with older black voters, because Bill Clinton paved the way for Hillary to get all the old black votes. You know what I'm saying? She's got that on lock. But the younger black voters, I don't understand why they didn't get in line with the younger white voters and get behind Bernie. You know what I mean? I thought Killer Mike had something going on, but Killer Mike just didn't do it, man.
It's a disconnect, bro, and they're not interested in it.
A huge disconnect.
It sounds bad. It sounds bad. It sounds very bad.
Right, huge disconnect.
But this is how I bring it home to them, though. Let me explain to you how I bring it home to them.
How's that?
Because I bring it home to them on a local basis. I say, all right, don't go home then. So that means when you get your next ticket, or you get a DWI, the judge in which you show up in, that you didn't go vote for, somebody else voted him in?
Right, he can get to the ass.
When he give you a time and that, what they call restitution?
Yeah.
When, hey, dude, hey, it's hurts then. But you're not even understanding how it plays a role in our society.
Right. They don't realize.
Judges are voted in. They are elected officials, bro.
Well, one of the oldest. Right.
They are not appointed. They are elected.
Right. One of the oldest.
Election in there.
Right. One of the oldest cliches of politics is all politics are local. And that's the truth. You know what I mean? And I guess, and I hate it's a disconnect, but I know why they won't vote for Trump is because he says stuff like this, you know.
Get him out. Ready? Are you ready? Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Get the hell out of here.
In which you just try to continue to do better and do the best you possibly can.
Right. And try to make inroads.
And not in a preaching manner, because I don't want to preach to nobody. I'm nobody's preacher. I can't preach to anyone.
Right. You try to help them help themselves. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, you just have to show young brothers the way, man. A lot of times it's a matter of guidance.
Right.
And who's guiding? You know?
Right.
Are you going to guide them to hell on earth, or are you going to guide them to heaven on earth?
Right.
You know? So where are you going to guide them? Because, see, if they get under the wrong guidance also.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, fast money. That fast money's out there talking to them. And them fast women. And they ain't trying to hear nothing else.
And it's, you know, the sad part about it is that as you, or if you get a chance to live long enough, man, life is a lot of experiencing to do in life. There's a lot of things that life has to offer other than BS, you know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah, other than being out there in the streets doing dumb shit.
Right. And
because we both been there.
This also. I said, 12th Street. You see that street? How long has it been 12th Street? It's been 12th Street a long time. Yeah, it's going to continue to be 12th Street. It's going to be there.
Right. Ain't going nowhere.
The streets stay the same.
That's right. Yeah. Just the players change. The game remains the same.
Don't get mad at the game. Don't get mad at the game.
Right, you got to hate the player because the game don't ever change.
You got to check that player.
That's right.
Absolutely, man.
But like I said, hey, we were talking about politics, but look, you would tell you who's going to win it for Hillary this time? Single white women. Well, people don't realize. I try to tell all these mad white folks that there ain't enough mad white folks no more to get Trump elected. You know what I mean? If this is 1960, he might can pull it off. But they believe, they're confused, think there's still enough white folks, mad white racist folks. And I'm not saying all Trump supporters are racist, just 80 to 90% of them. You know what I mean? That's just being real about it.
That's kind of high there, man.
Okay. Just to give my fellow white men a break.
90% of white people are racist?
No, Trump supporters. I said Trump supporters.
Oh, Trump supporters. Okay.
Yeah. Trump supporters. I'd say a solid 70 to 80% of Trump supporters are racist. You know what I mean?
All right. Now, that's just,
yeah.
You know, man, that's sad, man.
And that's what he's harping on.
16.
Right.
2016, bro.
And he ain't got enough of those to carry him no more. So nowadays, you got to have the Latino vote, the woman vote, and the black vote to win the national election. Ask Barack Obama, because that's how he won 2 landslides. You know what I'm saying? And what does Donald Trump go out of his way to do every day? Piss off Latinos, blacks, and women. It's like he don't want to win. See, I'm convinced, you were talking about Illuminati conspiracies. I've had this weird conspiracy for about 8 months where I'm thinking Donald Trump's working for the Democrats to destroy the Republican Party and to guarantee that Hillary Clinton gets elected. Because if there was a rule book on everything not to do to get elected, he could check off every box in the book because he's done everything you're not supposed to do to get elected. You know what I'm saying? And he's still here. So that's what I'm saying. I think he's here to destroy the Republican Party. And I'm almost convinced of it at this point because there's just the stuff he says. You know, he's got advisors. They're telling him, look, you've got to have the woman vote. You've got to have the black vote, or a chunk of it. You got to have the Latino vote. Right now, Gino, he is polling, and these are actual stats, unfavorably with 98% of blacks, 87% of Latinos, and 74% of women. Can't stand his ass. So that's game, set, and match right there. Because if you throw in your 20% of white dudes, liberal white dudes like me, that's 60, 70% of the vote right there and done. You know what I'm saying? Done.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something, man. And while we're speaking about race, man,
right?
Because I really want to put this out there, man.
All right.
Race has been a very dynamic lightning rod in our country, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm at the point in my lifetime, very short lifetime, that I try to live my day-to-day life, to where, race doesn't, I don't try to take it. It's not the first thought that I'm going into a white neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Or am I the only black person in the room? Or
no, you don't get used to that.
I don't even think like that. You know what I'm saying? But this issue of race, man, dude, this is a very, very, very petty issue. Small, not Monique, excuse me. This is my name. But it's Poquito.
Right, Manu. Right, Poquito. Very good. I'm with you.
Very, very small. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And it continues to be a
big,
divisive
and
issue.
It does.
It's brought up in so many segments of our society.
Right. It's institutionalized, Gino. You got to understand, this government was set up by a bunch of white slave owners. You know what I mean? For white folks.
We're not gonna talk about Willie Lynch tonight. I'm not gonna take your audience to Willie Lynch and what he wrote, because we was talking about written rules and we're not gonna go into Willie Lynch. But any of y'all that's wondering who I'm talking about, Google Willie Lynch.
Right.
But the thing about it, man, is this though, man. I'm a businessman. I'm a capitalist.
Right.
As a capitalist, you don't see no color.
One color, green. Green. You see green.
I won't sell my goods and products to you.
Right. All that money spends the same. Black money spends just like white money.
Man, gay, homosexual money spends
just as good.
Sometimes better.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, because it's probably cleaner.
So my point is, man, dude, I'm a businessman. Those type of issues, in fact, I'm trying to go out and meet people who don't even speak the same language that I speak. I'm trying to sell them.
Right.
Abortion that they come from Mars.
Right.
An opportunity to sell them some of my goods and products.
Right.
Selling it. I don't care. As long as he's got making some
being patronizing your business. And you know what I mean? That's how it should be, Gino. You know what I mean? But like you said, which we're down to the last 6 minutes, but it's funny that you mentioned that, how race is divisive, but it's funny how people play it both ways. You know what I mean? They'll play it one way to try to unite folks to get money out of them, and then they'll turn around and use it like Donald Trump to divide the whole country. And I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a 5-part documentary out on OJ. It's like 8 hours long. ESPN just did.
Oh my goodness!
It's mind blowing, dude. Have you seen it?
Dude,
mind blowing.
That documentary on OJ, dude, is so outstanding.
Incredible.
And let me throw this out there. Let me tell you this. OJ, man, I said that he was innocent then.
He guilty as shit.
I still to this day believe that he was innocent, man.
Really? You still think he's innocent?
I don't believe that OJ to this day. And you know what's so crazy, man, is that I'm sitting up watching how Marcus Allen. I forgot all about Marcus Allen
was hitting it. Yeah, he was hitting it. Probably AC.
The other guy, I didn't even know about the other guy.
I didn't either. The white guy. I didn't know about the white guy either.
I didn't know about him. But you know what? I understand relationships, man. Hey, man, dude. I don't believe that OJ physically killed both of them. And this is a goal, man. Where's he come from?
Right.
So
he was probably cutting it too.
I believe that OJ had somebody to kill.
Right. See, that's what I used to believe. And I even seen a documentary, man, and they went and got one of the greatest homicide detectives of all time, and he said he thought it was OJ's oldest son, Jason, because dude's a chef, and he's got this set of knives, and he had a knife missing, but he's like an expert with a knife. But after you see OJ and see how fake OJ was, man, OJ went Uncle Tom early. I'm talking about early in the game. You know what I mean? So his ego was so huge, he thought he transcended race. You know what I mean? And I think that's what got him. That he was such an obsessive control freak, and he always got everything his way, and everybody done what OJ wanted to do. When that chick finally bucked him, he went bonkers and killed her ass. And it was a pure crime of passion. You know what I mean? But he couldn't stand not being able to control her no more, and he lost his shit.
Now, Lloyd, now you got to remember who you're talking to. You're talking to a person who's had a bad breakup on Facebook. Have any of you guys out there, listeners, had on Facebook, like myself? You saw it all. It was funny.
Right, I've been there.
Hey, man, dude. Oh my goodness.
But I think AC helped him though. See, because look, I can't tell you how good that documentary is, because you thought by now you knew everything there was to know about that whole OJ trial and everything. There was so much. We only knew the tip of the iceberg. When you start seeing the lawyers,
huh? I didn't even know about You Is Love. You remember You Is Love?
Yeah. I didn't either.
I didn't know Gates. I'm like, huh? $22 light bill? $22.71 light bill?
Got her beat to death.
Black lady in the 79, I think it was.
Yeah, black lady got shot to death for a $22 light bill. Yeah.
$22 light bill. And then said those things just happen. They said it. Hey, things like that just happen.
Hey, but at least, even though we knew it at the time that Johnny Cochran was smart enough to make the trial about the LAPD and his former racist ways and future and present racist ways, but he was smart enough to make the trial about that even the jurors were honest enough to admit that was payback for Rodney King. You know what I mean? Basically.
Hey, the Rodney King beating
was brutal.
That was the first time in which all of America, all the white folks, all the black folks
got to see the real deal.
All the Asians
got to see what really goes down. Right.
The LAPD physically beat down a man who happens to be black.
Right. Beat him to death. Well, Nancy Bishop, once we down to the last minute 30, so we got to wrap it up to the next time, Gino. But what I was going to say is, though, you're right. Now you see it getting caught on cell phones all the time, like Eric Garner, and they still don't go to jail. That was the first time a camera actually caught the cops being racist and brutalizing a black man.
Being racist.
And brutalizing a black man.
A man who happened to be black.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it like that. I'm going to keep it like that. Keep it all the way real.
Right.
And nothing, there was no consequences.
Right.
Are you serious?
What's sad is, in 2014, they choked Eric Garner on camera, choked him to death for no reason, and still got away with it.
What has changed? Tell me. Can you tell me what's changed since Rodney King?
Nothing. Nothing. It seems like
Draymond Green?
Nothing. Tamir Rice, nothing. But what's crazy is,
you see what the Chicago PD has been doing for years?
Brutal. I'm talking about just executing them. Hey, but
American, I'm sorry.
We down to the last 20, but you're right. They've been executing them. Gino, I'm going to have Gino back next week, and we'll chop it up here in a few more days. This is Shooting the Breeze. I hate to cut it off because it's getting good, but we'll do it again. Shooting the Breeze with your man, Byron A. Lloyd.
Hey, before we get off here, man, I got my big homie up there here from Pine Bluff.
Hurry up, 2 seconds.
Hey, we